Good morning, St. John's, and welcome to this little class of preparation for tonight's meeting. As we've been doing, we are reviewing a little bit of what we did last week, and as we prepare to walk into a new topic tonight. These few weeks, we've been looking at basic elements of the prayer book system and prayer book tradition before we jump into the services themselves. So last week, we looked at basic principles of the prayer book system. And when we look at basic principles, we evaluate each one of them and how they look into the prayer book experience. So, for example, you remember that we talked about repetition and how that is experienced in the prayer book. We also talked about stability and why that was important. We also talked about variability and change, and how that is experienced in the tradition of the prayer book. We talked about formation and how we are formed by the words we listen, the words we say, but the texts that we recite. And of course, we also talked a lot about adoration and all the different kinds of prayers that we have in the prayer book. You remember, we talked about thanksgiving, we talked about intercession, we talked about confession, we talked about praise, and well, we did 7 different kinds of prayers that the prayer book system has and how they're experienced throughout the prayer book itself. We talked about continuity of how all the words that we say are generally really old, and we looked at our favorite prayers or prayers that caught our attention, and we looked at how old they were and where they were coming from, what is the origin of this prayer. Now today, this week, we're going to move into a different topic, and similar to this one. So if last week we talked about basic principles, well, this week we're going to talk about disciplines. Yes, I know, disciplines. Now, it's not that we're going to get people in detention if they're not disciplined, but what we are going after here is what are the practices that can help us to fully engage in the tradition of the prayer book. So we're going to talk about disciplines like participation, just being present at the place to begin with, and how we are present at the prayer book tradition. We're going to talk about attentiveness. We're also going to talk, and I'm flipping through the pages to make sure that I don't leave anything outside. We're going to talk about memorization and how that is crucial to our experience of the prayer book, or certainly the prayer book traditions. We're going to talk about diligence, and obviously, again, we're going to talk about stability, which is also one of the basic principles, and intentionality. So we're going to look at these 6 disciplines to help us better engage in the tradition of the prayer book. Come tonight ready to engage with this. We are going to read little sections of the text, and then we're going to talk about what do they mean for us, and how we can engage with them. This class will prepare us to jump into services themselves. So beginning next week, we're going to be looking at different services themselves in detail, and we're going to look through them to get to know them better and understand their history, and also how they can transform our lives. So thank you. I hope you're staying warm today, and you're staying dry because it's raining, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'll see you later, hopefully tonight, if not Sunday, for our first Sunday of Advent. Blessed day.